Yogena Chitasya Balena Vacham Manam Sharirasya Chavaidhyakena Yoga Karotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasaha Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. Keep the chest lifted, and then bow the head towards the center and surrender there to the space within. Bring the hands down to the legs. Gently lift the head up and let your eyes open. Change the crossing of your legs. Due to popular request, I was asked to read again, I think maybe at least 5 to 6 times we've read in class the Yoga Sutras from start to finish. So maybe not in this class, but in my life of teaching. So we're going to start today with each sutra I will read at the beginning of the class and just give a short synopsis. And then during shoulder stand, I'm going to read some of Guruji's teachings, in there. So that way, because I don't want the beginning of the class to be too long. In one of the classes, we even chanted them. So that's also, you can now, each week, if we do it, you can, if you want to do that, also learn them. So the first one is Atta Yoga Nushasanam. Atta Yoga Nushasanam. Atta Yoga Nushasanam, Guruji says, I didn't bring my right translation. Can you go get my book on the desk? But I'm going to first paraphrase and I'll read his translation. When Patanjali brought out the sutras of Patanjali, yoga, obviously, it was 2,500 years ago approximately. Yoga was already known, it's so ancient from the beginning of humanity. But he starts his sutra, and in some other sutras in Indian philosophy here, they start with the word atta. Atta means now, here, from this point on. But it also means and encompasses what came before. So from here, from this point, at this moment, I'm going to bring forth to you from this platform all the ideas of yoga, which is a auspicious, reverential subject. Guruji's translation says, with prayers for divine blessings, so that's how he translated Atta, now begins an exposition of the sacred art of yoga. So the idea of the sacredness of yoga, and now follows a detailed exposition of the discipline of yoga, given step by step in the right order with proper direction for self-alignment. So Guruji uses the word self-alignment because his idea is that we're aligning our body, mind, breath to reveal the self within. And often you can hear, we've had the last couple of years, Anushasanam workshops, they were called, Anushasanam, which means this disciplined approach to the study of yoga. Guruji also tells us Anushasanam is also, it can be used as laying down the rules or guide given in an actual procedural form. And so it means guidance in the codes of conduct or in the approach to study properly, which are to be observed and which form the base from which to cultivate one's ethical and spiritual life. And that's what we see that yoga does for us. It gives us a platform through our practice, our dedicated practice, from which we can see our ethical and spiritual life. So it doesn't matter what religion you are, what the belief is, it will enhance that for you because it's a platform from which you can go and dive deep towards the self. So there we have our first sutra for today, and Atha Yoga Vishasanam. And so everyone, let us start class. We have today our model, Courtney. So just move the blankets to the side. And we're going to start first with Parshva Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. So, I'm thinking about who's there. So in that case, you'll have either a stool or a bookshelf and a belt. But you don't need a belt. And what is important when you do this pose is that your foot is up there on your situation and you have your belt around your foot. But do you see now how my heel is lower than my buttock? So it's best if it's just a tad higher. You can put that for you. And so that is what we're going to do. And yeah, so find something in your room or in your house, a railing. Of course, here at the center, we use this, which is even higher. Courtney, you can use this because that would be good for you. And then, go ahead, I'll use this. Okay. You just go there. Don't worry, you're good. So go ahead and put your leg up there in Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. And the first thing you're going to do is bend the leg that's up in the air so you feel with the bent of the leg, the flesh of the buttock can go down. So keep the flesh of the buttocks down, and then when you go to straighten your leg, feel the back of your leg so that the back or bottom of your leg gets extended when you straighten your leg. And feel that with that attitude of the length of the back of the leg, that you feel a connection with the top of the leg as well. A parallelism with the bottom of that leg and the top of that leg. And you can bend it, descend the buttock. You can even use your hand back there. So not just the groin, but the actual buttock flesh. And then straighten your leg. And then feel in your standing leg that the weight is going back in the heel and you lengthen the sides of your trunk. There is a sensation that is required that you deepen the groin. That's another reason why I have you bend the leg. Once more, bend it. Feel the depth of the groin. That means, sorry, I'm getting used to having people in the room. That means that, let's see, the groin itself, if I have my foot up here, this frontal groin goes deep, the inner and outer groin parallel, so that when you go to straighten your leg, that depth stays there. The buttock stays down. And then hold the belt in such a manner that you can lengthen the sides of your trunk parallelly. Both sides of the trunk. Parallel. Breathe. Feel that, although one leg is up in the air, that you have a parallelism on the right and left side of your trunk. Then release and change sides. So when you change sides, again, go ahead. The doing that we're having here is we'll bend the leg. And with your opposite hand, you can move the buttock flesh down and feel the bottom of the leg extending. Without kicking out onto your standing leg hip, take the belt not so close to the foot, otherwise the sides of the trunk won't be even. Lengthen well the sides of the trunk. Bend your leg again like 2-3 times. Do it on your own. I don't have to dictate it to you. But see also that the second time that you bend it and do it, that you're deepening the groin. You're deep deepening the groin. And then feel with the stability of the legs, the length, parallelism of the side trunk, waist back, chest open. And feel also the back of your standing leg without lifting your buttocks up. Each buttock bone going towards its respective heel. Breathe normally and release. Change sides. Once more, go on your own. Bring your awareness in the back of the legs. Bring the extension even in both sides of the trunk. Keep the buttocks moving towards each heel. And then change sides. Often when we talk about this pose, we talk about the inner and outer leg of your standing leg. That you're not leaning on the outer leg. I'm going to just be in Vrikshasan to explain. That you feel that you're standing tall on your inner leg. The outer leg has a connection. And the same thing in the leg in the air. That you feel that outer leg coming to the bone, but the inner leg should descend at the groin so it doesn't constrict. Lengthen the sides of the trunk from the hips to the armpits. Breathe. Then release. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread well the bottoms of the feet, the necks of the toes. Keep the height in the hips. Feel the depth of the groins. And then lengthen the sides of the trunk from the armpits up to the hips. Breathe, everyone. Inner arms long as well. Open well the back of your legs. Open well the back of the legs. Then come up and be in Tadasana. Tadasana. Observe the parallelism of your inner legs. And as we have seen on Tuesday, the topmost inner groins tend to push forward on almost everyone. So bend your legs and feel that the topmost part of your legs descends towards the floor. Then when you straighten your legs, keep it moving back, but keep the buttocks moving towards the heels. Feel each buttock bone going down, but also from inside the buttock bone coming up towards the chest. So it's kind of like a connection that they're aligned, your buttock bones, with your heels, but the sensation is that there's a lift with the inner groins back. Then inhale, jump. Uttita Trikonasana. Reach your arms out, turn your left foot in, your whole right leg out. Now, in the past and on the other day, we talked about like in the pose we just did, that the outer and inner leg, the inner and outer leg of your back leg has an even and parallel lift. Now in the front leg, as we saw the other day, observe that the bottom of the leg has that sensation of opening and parallelism with the front of your front leg. So the front leg lifts up, pressing into the big toe mound, lift up well the frontal leg, and reach out over the leg, grasp the ankle, Uttita Trikonasana. Once you're in the pose, lengthen the sides of the trunk, shoulders away from the ears, ears away from the shoulders, opening the chest, breathe. Now feel also that there is a triangle between your two legs, and lift sharply that triangle between your two legs, keeping each buttock bone connecting to each heel bone. Keep that line. Then inhale, come up, and change sides. Turn the right foot in, the whole left leg out. Establish the back leg parallelism so that the inner leg and the outer leg and the back leg have the same line. Don't lose that, as we saw just on Tuesday. So that this thigh, it definitely sucks to the bone, but if you suck it to the bone, there's a gripping. Feel instead a lift of the inner leg and lift of the outer legs, thanks to bringing the weight in the heel, inner and outer ankle in. Front big toe mound, connect it, and observe not only the lift of the frontal leg, but the parallelism in the bottom leg, that there are two parallel lines coming up. Then reach out over the leg, grasp the ankle, or bring your fingertips to the floor, and observe that your trunk continues to extend over the front leg, but the front leg has a sharp depth. Frontal leg has a depth and a lift, opening the chest. Turn and look beyond the thumb, towards the ceiling. Breathe. Each buttock bone connecting to, align with its heel bone. And then observe the center triangle of the leg, sharp, as if you lift it up. Lift it up, opening the chest. And then inhale, come up. Turn the feet and jump together, Tadasana. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe. Breathe normally. Breathe freely. Breathe normally. Breathe freely. Inhale, jump. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Turn the left foot in, the whole right leg out. And now, when you go to bend your front leg, I'm going to ask you, as we saw on Tuesday, that you feel the outer knee tendon, it stays extending. And in the front leg, that as you bend, you feel that alignment, like if you drew dots by dots or a constellation of the buttock bone to the heel bone. And the buttock bone of the back leg also aligned with the back heel bone. There's a connection. Go ahead, bend once, then unbend. Then bend second time, and bring your hand to the floor. Feel the bottom leg extension moving forward. Then extend the outer knee tendon of the left leg. Move the inner leg to touch the outer knee tendon. Arm overhead, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Utthita Parshvakonasana. And then turn and look up towards the ceiling. Have one line from the outer knee tendon, the back foot, waist, and wrist. So the wrist should not go too far back for now, although we can teach like that. Breathe, open the chest, inhale, coming up. And then change sides. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Then slowly bend the front leg from the bottom of the leg, like we saw when we did that pose, Parshva Utthita. Then bring the hand to the floor. Stretch the outer knee tendon of the right and move the inner right knee to touch the outer knee tendon. So they're connected. The whole knee has a density. Feel the straight leg, density of the leg, but bend the front leg. So the back leg has a lift. More of a lift, Courtney, back leg. Yeah, that's it. It's just because your legs are a little bit wide, but that's okay. Don't worry. You can a little bit walk your back foot in, and that's all. Good. Now you're good. Lengthen and rotate. Feel that now. Each body bone connection. Lengthening the trunk. Breathe. Opening the chest. Observe that. Then inhale, coming up. Turn your feet and jump together, Tadasana. Stand tall. Breathe normally, breathe freely. Bring your feet hip width apart. Reach your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Come forward, Uttanasana. Have your fingertips on the floor. Reach the sides of your trunk forward. Open now evenly the frontal leg and the back leg. Feel the parallelism of the front of the leg and the back leg. Inner groins back, and then extend down in this pose, Uttanasana. Breathe freely. Alexia, do you have an ache in your back or something?
No.
Okay.
My knee is overextending.
No, they're not. You don't have that problem. Just lower your kneecaps. Open the top part back. There you go. Okay. Don't bend your legs. Lift your kneecaps, Alexia. Come on. Someone put that in your head, you overextend your knees. That's new, huh? Lift your kneecaps so you don't overextend your knees. Come on. They're bending. Lift up like pillars of the outer knee tendons. Then everyone coming up. And then face forward. Now watch the screen for a moment. Courtney's going to show what we're going to do. All right, ready? Inhale, jump. She's going to go first in Utthita Parshvakonasana. And then from there, she's going to keep the lift of the inner knee to this outer knee that's stretched. So, and that inner leg, so she doesn't just kick this hip out. She'll slowly straighten her front leg and bring this hand into Utthita Trikonasana. And then she'll bend her leg back into Utthita Parshvakonasana. And then she'll come on up. Okay, so it's going to be like a flow. We're going to do that. Okay? Go ahead. We're going to combine the poses today. Ready? Inhale, jump. She's going to stay there. She already jumped. Or step your legs apart. Those people who need the wall, you can do this easily with the wall or chair. I give this a lot in Easy Pace class for lower backs. Go ahead. So you can use the wall or put your hand on the chair. So bend the leg, go into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Breathe. Feel that height of the inner back leg. And then slowly straighten your front leg, bringing your top hand up as you do. Opening the chest without kicking the hip up. Triangle shape, strong. And then bend the leg again. Bring your arm overhead. And then come on up. And change sides. Other side. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Lift that inner back leg. Then Utthita Trikonasana. Slowly and extend your trunk over. See how the trunk gets longer when you straighten the leg without kicking the hip out. And then bend the front leg, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Then inhale, coming up. Ooh, turn the feet, jump together, Tadasana. Then inhale, jump. Utthita Trikonasana. Then inhale, coming up. Turn the other way, Pavrita Trikonasana. Turn, revolve. Then inhale, coming up. Utthita Trikonasana, that same side. Then inhale, coming up. Other side, Pavrita Trikonasana. Then inhale, coming up. Turn the feet, jump together, Tadasana. Stand tall. So these are some things we can do because it helps us to move more and feel the grace of the asana. So I'm going to give us today some of the poses, and then we're going to interconnect them. Okay, so I'll give elements so you'll feel that you're connecting your body and mind, connecting in the pose, and then with that, those elements of connection, which you feel, I'm sure you felt the body form, the alignment, etc., we've been working on, but in the flowing of the asana. Okay, so we're going to do now, next group is going to be Virabhadrasana. So inhale jump, Virabhadrasana from first Vimanasana. Turn the legs like we did the other day, and now when you bend the leg, feel that the inner leg reaches forward, but your inner back leg reaches back. So your two legs are separating like a split. Then lengthening the sides of the trunk, lift the chest, feel both sides of the trunk evenly parallel with the wall in front of you, as well as your two shoulder blades. The inner face of the shoulder blades parallel with the wall in front of you. Then inhale, come up and change sides. Just turn to the other way with the arms out. And then bend the leg, Vimanasana. This is really to help keep freedom in the legs, freedom in the spine, and open the chest. But really observe the parallelism within you of your two trunks, sides of your trunk facing the wall in front of you, and your two back shoulder blades, inner face, facing the wall in front of you. So see that your back leg shoulder blade comes forward, facing the wall in front of you. Straight ahead. Separation of the legs. Elbow in, pubic plate up. Then come up, turn your feet, and jump together. Kavasa. Breathe, everyone. Everyone felt that, no? Now, take a break. Watch Courtney. Go ahead, inhale, jump. I'll talk you through. Now she's going to go back in Vimanasana. And then turn her arms, Virabhadrasana 1. No, wait. Virabhadrasana 1, sorry, that's true. That is Vimanasana. Go ahead. First, bring the arms up. Now she'll do her Virabhadrasana 1. And re-extend the spine, look up so the whole body is ready now for that pose. Then she'll pull with the arms to come up. Turn and face front, but not the foot. Keep the foot facing over there. Bring the arms down, and then bend into Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, and then she'll come up, turn Vimanasana other side, show the other side, because she's just learning, so I'm giving. Turn the arms, reach them up, Virabhadrasana 1, go in the pose, re-extend the spine, look up, then pull with the arms, come up, keep your front foot facing that way, your back foot, turn it out, turn your arms down, and then bend Virabhadrasana. Then inhale, come up, turn the feet, jump. Okay, so this is our next little combination flow of these two. So we'll do these. Eventually you can connect to everything, but first I'm doing it in segments so that you see pedagogically how it works. And because, anyways, yeah, some people they were asking, can we flow? You know, this is true because during this time, having this movement of flowing into pose after pose like that, I was practicing like this yesterday, and I was like, it just gives you a feeling of freedom that you're larger than your embodiment, which we know. If you truly connect within, you feel the infinite space within. So you don't feel locked in, locked down, locked in. You know, you feel the infinite space within. But still, we want to move. So this gives us a sensation that we're taking up space outside, within. It gives us that connection, the grandeur of our embodiment, which actually, if we could see, if we had spiritual glasses and we could see, we emanate more light out than just this physical body. So this is the idea. Okay? So you'll feel that. You should feel that sense of freedom and grace. It's a little bit choreography as well, but it's really great. Okay? So I'll walk you through with Courtney. Inhale, jump. Turn now your feet, Vimanasana. But we're going to first bring the arms up now. Roll the arms, lift them up. Don't look up, just look forward. Then bend the leg, Virabhadrasana 1. Feel the inner leg separating. Then re-extend the whole sides of the trunk parallel. Re-extend the spine from the base of the crown of the head. But when you re-extend to look up, keep your two legs separating. Don't unbend them. Yeah, that's it. Opening your chest. Good. Now, pulling with your arms, come up. you'll turn and face forward, but not your front foot. And then bend your front leg, Virabhadrasana. Turn and look beyond your hand. Virabhadrasana. 2, breathe. Bend a little more, then come up. Turn the feet, Vimanasana. And then turn the arms towards the ceiling. Reach your chest up, your trunk up. Then bend the front leg, Virabhadrasana 1. Feeling the separation of the two legs. Inner front leg coming forward. Inner back leg going back. Like the two legs are doing a split. Re-extend the trunk, the center of the spine. Look up, but when you look up, bend some more. Don't lose the separation of the legs when you look up. Breathe, opening the chest. Good. Then hoist yourself up with your arms. Just turn your back foot out. Turn your arms out and bend into Virabhadrasana. 2, then turn and look beyond your hand. Breathe normally. Breathe freely. Then inhale, coming up. Turn the feet and jump together, Tadasana. Breathe. Breathe freely, breathe normally. Then everyone, be there for some moments. Then bring your feet hip width apart and extend forward in resting Uttanasana. Courtney, remind me after class to talk to you about this pose and one other pose from yesterday, I forgot. Then inhale, coming up, everyone, resting Uttanasana, complete. And then bring your arms down. Now, for the next group of poses, you have to decide if you're going to do it. Some people, they may need to do support, so I'll show with the support as well. But first, Courtney's going to show the choreography. So inhale, jump. Then turn your legs to go into Vimanasana. Okay, and wait a second, I just have to think for a second. Yeah. Vimanasana, and then turn, I have to remember what I want to give. Yeah. Then turn the arms, reach the arms up, and then go bend your leg. Virabhadrasana. Virabhadrasana 3. Then Virabhadrasana 1. Come on up. Then turn Pavarita Trikonasana. Just bring your arms down, just bring your arms into the, go in Pavarita Trikonasana. Just dive in there. Then come up. Vimanasana. Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 3. And it's brief, huh? Virabhadrasana 1. Then come up and go in Pavarita Trikonasana. Then come up and jump together. Okay, everyone saw? Now some people in Virabhadrasana 3, they need to use the stool, you just rest. So then you can do that either like so, wait, I think I'm off camera for some people. So either like so, which we saw the other day, if you lift one leg up and extend, this is always good to do. If you have blood pressure issues, you can do it with your head like this. You can use a bookshelf or kitchen counter. So you can do Virabhadrasana 3 like this, both sides twice. Okay, do that. Or if you want, do Virabhadrasana 1 into Pavarita Trikonasana. Okay, that's another option. And also the other day, we saw this pose like this, Courtney showed it, which is also an option which gives a real strength and stability in the legs. So you have one leg at the wall, which you can see here. And I always look to see my leg's not too high up. And then you lengthen your trunk forward with your forehead resting if you have eye issues, blood pressure, etc. Or you can extend your arms forward. Okay? So you have to kind of set that up in your house if you have that option available to you. Okay? Otherwise you can do Vimanasan, Virabhadrasana 1, Pavarita Trikonasana. Or take time. My option for you if you have ankle ache, knee ache, hip ache, head ache, or blood pressure problem, or, not to make it sound by naming it off like there's something wrong, there is. So take care of yourself at this time. Do it with the stool or the bookshelf. Other ones, because we have mixed level class, not mixed level, but mixed capacity. So other ones, be ready for this flowing inhale jump. Vimanasan, it's really just turning, it's not really Vimanasan, but you guys know. Then turn the arms, reach up, bend the leg, reach forward, side trunks going forward with the arms, go into Virabhadrasana 3, suck the lower arm to the bone, but reach your leg back through the heel, then bend the leg, Virabhadrasana 1, inhale, come up, bring your arms around, Pavarita Trikonasana. Then inhale, coming up, and just turn the other way. You don't even have to face forward. Just keep flowing around there. Turn the arms, reach your arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Then don't look up, because we're going right into Virabhadrasana 3. Reach the big toe mound. Virabhadrasana 3. Press your big toe mound. Yeah. Reach your leg back through the heel. Through the heel, Courtney. Yeah, like that. Then Virabhadrasana 1. Then inhale, come up, and turn into Pavarita Trikonasana. Then inhale, come up, and jump together, Tadasana. Okay, everyone enjoyed?
Yeah.
You enjoyed? There's another one Courtney's going to show. Inhale, jump. You're not too tired? Inhale, jump. Go again. Vimanasan. You guys could do it with her if you like. Those who want, go ahead. And Virabhadrasana 3. That's okay. Chest towards the floor. Virabhadrasana 1. Now inhale, coming up. Change sides and go into Pavarita Trikonasana. Bring your arms down on the way. Yeah, that's it. Now you're there. Then inhale, come up. Face the wall in front of you. Turn the arms. Virabhadrasana 1. Bend the leg. Come forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Then Virabhadrasana 1. Then inhale, come up, turn Pavarita Trikonasana. Inhale, come up, jump Tadasana. Okay, it's fun, no?
Yeah.
Good. Even you could go from Pavarita Trikonasana, you can inhale, you can jump back into Tadasana and turn in the air.
Whoa.
Yeah, you could do that. I've seen it before. Anyhow, those are the stories for now. Take a break. Uttanasan, resting in between. And the people with the stool, that's great. Don't worry, right now I'm in the stool group too. I'm going to do my other side. It's really fun because if I have models, I could show and teach that, but I would just get exhausted afterwards. Breathe, everyone. Breathe freely. Then your arms will touch. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Getting better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Courtney?
Yeah.
Good. Now, you can move the books. So, there's other ones that we have. Let's see, I'm going to give you guys this first. Courtney's going to show. Ready?
Yep.
So, yeah, for this level class, I have to give this first. Okay. So now what you're going to do is inhale jump. And you can just have your hands on your waist for now. Turn your legs, Parshvottanasana. Reach your arms up. Extend forward, Parshvottanasana. Extend over that leg. Watch you guys for a sec. Then you come back up onto your fingertips. And then you take a little jump and change legs. Hop! And then go down. And then you turn your two legs and go in Prajna Pratanasana. And you have to little wiggle your just go down. You don't go too much. You use the phase, what people call concave back, where you're upright just for transitioning, but you don't stay in it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then transition back up for that, and then turn your legs this way. So each time you're going to turn, she's turning to the left, but you guys are going to turn to the right, and then go down that leg. Then you come back up onto your fingertips, jump, change legs, hop. That's it. Then go down. She does it very gracefully. And then turn towards the center. And then go down. And then we'll go the other way. Okay? So it's a way of turning. Then you can come up. It's a way of turning from the hip rotation. Sure. Okay. Okay? And then walking your legs. And we'll stop in Prajna Pratanasana. Now, if someone can't do this, that's okay. You can manage. You can do Parshvottanasana, then don't do the jump change legs. So what you can do, show once more. Those people who can't just go in Parshvottanasana for a sec. Those people who can't you do Parshvottanasana. And this is how it is in line, and you're going, but the hands are in Namaskar. And now come back up into your fingertips and go in Prajna Pratanasana. And then come back up into your fingertips, go Parshvottanasana, other side, this side. Extend. So you'll just do that, and then go back around 2 times while we go all the way around. Okay, so that's all. You just omit the jump change leg part. Okay? So everyone knows what to do. I'm taking that as a yes, since we don't have any Zoom participants today. Alright. Ready? Inhale, jump. Bring the hands on the waist, turn the feet. And then reach your arms up, Parshvottanasana, lengthen the sides of the trunk, go forward, extend and go down the leg. The body is all warmed up now, so there isn't any resistance really. Feel the weight, however, on your 2 inner legs. No weight on the outer leg. And then you come up to your fingertips, jump change legs, or go in Prajna Pratanasana. Then go down, Parshvottanasana, other side. Have the weight on both inner legs. No weight on the outer leg. Then come up to your fingertips, Prajna Pratanasana. Everyone go to the right. Or you're just going to go to the left, right? You're going to the left.
Yeah. Okay.
They're going to the right. You're going to the left. You're going to the right. Is it true, Alexia? Yeah. Then come up. Go to the right. When you go up onto your fingertips, get your legs, hips connected in the pose. Don't think suck the adult and don't think bows on your airways. Then come up onto your fingertips, jump change legs. Go down. Usually this is faster than I'm giving, but I'm giving one slow so you can be in the poses. Then come back up onto your fingertips, turn forward. Prajna Pratanasana. Go down. Breathe. Press well the palms of the hands. Lift well the side trunk from the armpits to the hips. Opening the back of the legs. Feel the front of the leg. Parallelism like the banks of the river. As much lifted as the back ones. So don't turn your toes in a little bit. Less toes in. Breathe. Lift the inner ankle, outer ankle. Good. Then extend the sides of the trunk forward. Come back up. Now those people who did it, you come up. Other ones, stay down there. Okay. Go ahead to the left now. So first go, over your left leg. Extend forward. Then jump change legs. Then jump change legs. Are you going to the left? Left for you is that way?
Yeah.
So you have to go to the right. Jump change legs. See, now you're confusing me, my model.
You know
Which
what?
way are you going, Alexia?
Left.
Left? Okay. Go to the left. Make sure you're going to the left. Whichever, I think I said it right. Jump change legs. You're going to the left?
Yeah.
So you go to the right now, Courtney, because you went to the left. Okay, so whatever it is, you're in Prasarita Pradhanasana, but you're turning, but you're going now that way. So go that way. Jump. Yeah, there you go. Prasarita Pradhanasana. Okay?
Yeah.
Then come up onto your fingertips. Go to the left. Then jump change legs. Go ahead to the left. Come around. Go Prasarita Pradhanasana. So everyone went around both sides, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Press well the palms of the hands. Now those people whose head is on the floor, then if your head isn't on the floor, okay, you have a brick, that's okay. You can hold your ankles. But if your head is on the floor, bring your hands now on your ankles, and then bring your arms in Pacchinamaskara-san. Press the palms of the hands together. So you're either holding your ankles or your hands are in your back. Press really well the palms of the hands together. If that's really pressing strongly, you'll feel the shoulders will come up and very well press, and elbows also reaching towards each other. Shoulder blades in, waist is up. Now, those people who have it, the strength in the inner leg, sucking the thigh to the bone, then you will come up in this pose, but don't come up yet. The people who feel, no, I want to go back to Prasarita Pradhanasana, hands on the floor, you do that. Otherwise, inhale, come up, or hands on the floor, and then walk in your heels and toes, and jump together, Tadasana. And now from here, if I had more time, then I would have you do Parshvottanasana through Prasarita, then finish with going into Prasarita Pradhanasana 2 with your keeping your hands on the sky. Okay? That's what I did at home. That's what we did last night. Then reach your arms down and be there, everybody. Breathe, normally breathe freely. The body shouldn't be as, how could I say, intense now, because that was a calming one, except for Courtney, because she had to think. She was the model and she did everything backwards. So she did it really well. Now, bring your feet hip width apart. Pandangusthasana. Either way. Take a roll blanket and put it in your stomach. Go ahead. Holding the big toe pose. And then extend the sides of the trunk forward and come on up. Okay? Now for the next pose, you're either going to face forward with a stool or a chair. I'm going to give her a stool to show. Or you do it at your wall. Okay? So what you're going to do is Parshva Uttita Hasta Paramurtasana. So go ahead, you can hold the stool, or you can, however you want to do. Hold the big toe mound, and then extend the back of the leg, reach that leg up, reaching through the big toe mound, lengthen the sides of the waist, or, just put your hand on the shoulder, or your hand is like this at the wall, okay, fingertips, like that, okay, either way, or your hands on your waist, in the middle of the room. Breathe, everyone. Then just bend your leg and release. Change legs. If you want the stool, you can have it. Parshva Uttita Hasta Paramurtasana. Go ahead. Lengthen well the sides of the trunk. The back of the leg, reach through the big toe mound. Feel that both shoulder blades parallel in front of you. And move the shoulders down, lift the chest up. So you use your shoulder girdle for stability in this pose. Then bring the leg down. Now, when you do this pose, go ahead, to the side, and then you're going to bring your leg forward in front of you and lift it higher up. And then release it. Okay? Go ahead. So if you're at the wall, then you'll repeat it at the wall. You'll repeat it. You're here, and then you bring your leg forward and lift it up. Just bend it like Paramurtasana, but up. And what will help you is a little bit, I have to make sure I'm on the screen, is a little bit, you bring your leg up, you lean back to bring your leg up. Like not everyone is like so strong and flexible as our Courtney and kind also. She has everything. So, but everyone, So then you lean back a little so you can get that height so you can feel, oh yeah, my leg can go up. Don't do it so that you feel that your leg is heavy and it draws you down. Feel that it goes up. And whatever you can get. And that's the idea. Ready? Feel the idea of the flow of the movement versus like this heavy leg that you're holding or something. So holding the big toe mound, bring your leg out to the side, Parshva. And then bring it around, lift it up, and then come down. Okay, so other side. How's that over there? Good for our Alexia? She's enjoying? Good. And then bring the leg around, shoulder blades in, and come up. Okay? So you get a real height. Now you don't have to do it that way, but those who are stiffer, that gives them the freedom. Okay? But you could do it just to feel it. Okay. You felt it? Yeah. Good. Now, if you look on my Yoga Kamsha, you'll see Guruji shows this pose from Uttita Hasta Paramurtasana first. That's why we teach it first in Uttita. Arm goes from the inside always. So she holds and she goes forward. And then, when she brings her leg out to the side, go ahead, you have to feel that there's a breaker, that your outer legs connect so that your leg stops. Otherwise, the momentum will bring you around. Then you bring your leg forward and lift it up, and then grab with your other hand. 2 hands now holding, and straighten your leg. Okay? And then bring your leg down. Okay, so that's the little series there. So now the people with the wall, same thing. Only but you're going to start in the front. So just start in the front, swinging. It's really, you're just swinging your legs around. And, you can just do that also. But feel it so you get the idea. Go ahead. And if this is too much for you, your body is stiff, you can do it again on the stool or the wall like we saw. Hold from the inside. So Uttita first. And then Parshva, bring the leg out to the side, sucking the outer thigh as a breaker, lifting the chest. Then bring the leg forward and up and hold now with 2 hands. And lift your chest. Bring your trunk towards the leg. Breathe. And then bring your leg down. So that's phase 3 where you bring your head in. Don't even bring your head in. Okay. All you're doing is you're just standing there with your leg holding with your 2 hands. And you're not trying to bring it in. But you can bring it if you want. But that's what I'm asking. Just holding with 2 hands. Okay. Because otherwise you're bending your bottom. I'm not looking for that right now. Just for everyone to get that phase 2. Okay. Ready? Other side. Otita hasta. Then parsha, outer leg suction. Then back to the center. Lift your leg up, and now 2 hands holding. Lift your chest, interlock the fingers, bring your chest towards the leg, and then bring your arm and leg down. Okay? Good. Adho Mukha Svanasana, everybody. Rest there in dog pose now, but don't rest. Be in a dog pose that is restful, in other words. The whole body is open, back of the leg is open, hips up, extension. Feel that pose. Breathe. Then come up. Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana for a moment. Breathe normally, breathe freely. Or the Hastasana. Uttanasana. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Reach forward next to the small toe. And then relax your head, extend down, press the palms of the hands there. Feel the parallelism of your 2 inner legs, your 2 outer legs, the front leg, the back leg, and the side trunk descending. Take hold of your ankles, bending your arms, extend down. In this pose, but feel how much the leg is going up as your trunk is going down. Breathe. So now just bring your trunk down. You have a backache? Go. Why are you not using your arms? Keep the leg straight. Yeah. See, you're good. Then come up. Extend the trunk forward with your arm up. And now go for Shirshasana. Those people who do Shirshasana, you do Shirshasana. If you feel fatigued, if anyone feels fatigued, then you stop, you do legs up the wall or cross bolster. If you're not feeling fatigued, your just body is open, like vitality is coming out. That's what this class is for. Then you do Viparita Dandasana in the chair if you're not doing Shirshasana. Okay? So the idea wasn't to make you fatigued. With the flow, you don't get fatigued if you dose your flow. Okay? So, you can't all keep up with Courtney. She's young and strong, like I was saying. But she was doing double time. So think of that. So anyhow, what the idea is that now you're resting, either legs up the wall, or Shirshasana, or back bend on the chair, because the body is open. But I'm asking now to cool down. We're doing just a short Shirshasana, but it's not there to struggle. So if you need the wall, use the wall. Some people I know use the wall. I'd rather you use the wall than struggle. Once you go up, you're in Shirshasana. Then you do Viparita Dandasana in the chair if you're not doing Shirshasana. Okay? So the idea wasn't to make you fatigued. With the flow, you don't get fatigued if you dose your flow. Okay? So, you can't all keep up with Courtney. She's young and strong, like I was saying. But she was doing double time. So think of that. So anyhow, what the idea is that now you're resting, either legs up the wall, or Shirshasana, or back bend on the chair, because the body is open. But I'm asking now to cool down. We're doing just a short Shirshasana, but it's not there to struggle. So if you need the wall, use the wall. Some people I know use the wall. I'd rather you use the wall than struggle. Once you go up, you're in Shirshasana. Be there for some moments. You're okay that you didn't tuck in your shirt? Are you okay?
I'm
okay. Breathe everyone. That's good. How about you? Yeah, press this up a little. See if you can move this. You see what I mean? Yeah. This goes that way. See if you can do that, because the material is thick. You know, it's like you can move some of it there. Now, once you're in Shirasana, especially for some people I know in the class, I'm going to ask you to bring your legs hip width apart. Feel the added length and parallelism in your inner arms. Now, bring your leg 2 hips widths apart and feel how the waist and the side body can go up. From the armpits, the side body lift. So your side body is predominant, so your center body isn't pushing. Then draw the outer legs together. Even the people in the chair, bring your legs hip width apart. Feel the connection of the outer legs, the side body, so the center body is soft. And then bring your outer legs closer. So you're not pushing through the center body, but you feel the side body has your has a shape like a borderline, so your inner body is soft. Yeah, you can see it's softer now for you now.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. Okay, breathe normally. Your belly is moving a lot.
I'm okay.
Don't move your belly so much, you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, I think, how to keep my belly soft and
Okay. And what?
And not puff it out when I breathe.
Okay, so don't worry, just be normal and natural. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But work with the side body, so you can adjust again the legs. And the diaphragm is expansive. And then bring the legs back together from the outside of the legs. Better a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then Courtney, slowly come down. Everyone say 1 more minute. Slowly come down. Courtney, go and rope Shirasana for a little bit. Get these, because your belly is dancing. Right?
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
No, I didn't.
Come over here. Do this. Huh?
I didn't sleep a lot last night.
Me either. I didn't either. I think it was full.
And I feel.
So go in those ones over there. Just go. Yeah, because you're tall. You can stand on that bench if you need it. That's fine. Just go up a minute.
Hey, do you know what, Carolyn? After being in class on Tuesday, I've never been so sore like the first time, you know? It was a soreness like the deepest. Oh, it was so good.
Okay, that's good to know from you.
Yeah.
I think I can make you sore.
Yeah. It was like the first time I ever practiced.
Yeah, it's common.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some of the things that I forgot you were in there. Let's see, we'll look at. Good, now those people who have come down, rest there for a moment in Virasana. Then have a bolster and blanket. We're going to sit in Virasana. If you need support behind your knee in Virasana, you take it behind your knee, or if you need to sit on something in Virasana, a brick. So if you have to sit on a brick, which is fine, if you're sitting on a brick, that's good, then you want to add extra height here. Here I have a bolster. You may need to have another height, you know? So anyhow, what I'm going to have us do first, I'm going to remove that bolster. And then I also saw that if you need a chair behind you against the wall, I'll show that in a second, you put a chair against the wall and a bolster propped up. The other ones, we're going to go like this, Parikasana prep. So feel the fibers of your thighs deflating but moving towards the knees, and the feet, shins, moving this way. So pull with your toes. If you pull with your toes, like as if you were pulling your feet, which you can do, then you feel the fibers of the legs will start to deflate and move that way with the parallelism. Then you bring your elbows in, bring the crown of the head onto the floor, be sure the tailbone is in, and lift your chest. And then from here, afterwards, you'll decide. If I bring the back of my leg to the floor, head to the floor, oh look, what support do I need? Like me, I need shoulder height. Now, if that's it, look what I could do. I can put my hands one at a time underneath and use my own shoulders as my bolster. But there's no tension in my abdomen, my lower back. My body isn't open right now, so I have a little tension there. So I wouldn't be able to stay there comfortably right now, so then I would need, probably I just need a brick behind my upper back, but I'm just showing all the options. Then I'm having down my bolster. So I'm resting a little bit in Supta Virasana. Okay? So there's those options are there. Then, also, Courtney, you're coming back. You can come back. The other option is you can do without the bolster. The Supta Virasana that I showed the other day. Yeah, just remove this here. I'll remove that. We will get in that. Oh, I see that. No worries. So I showed it like this. For those people who are sitting also on the bolster for their knees, they're sitting on a bolster, they have a chair against the wall, they've got the bolster on, or a brick. Let's say this is a brick. I should take a brick. But anyways, you imagine this is a brick. Let me get her. So you're sitting on a brick, and then you have your bolster against the chair tilting. Okay? So you're just coming away from the chair enough so that you can lean back and be in a Supta Virasana without compromising your knees, ankles put a support. Okay? Even these people, they can bring their arms overhead or hold the chair bar like this. So it's very nice holding the chair bar like this. Now, yeah, you can bring your arms under your buttocks there, if you missed that, palms and hands towards the ceiling. And look, Supta Virasana with your arms as a support. Okay, and that will relax your abdomen. Okay, so everyone be in Supta Virasana a little bit, for a little while in this class. Deflation of the thighs. Because your hands will be there, but weight here would be very nice right now. That's okay, you just rest. More I'm interested in the abdomen deflating. Yeah, it's calming now there. Yes, I just remembered this one. Isn't it cool? Mm-hmm. Isn't it fun? So if you're traveling, you can't bring your bolster with you. Look, now you know Supta Virasana with your arms as a bolster, like Supta Baddha Konasana with your arms as a bolster. Okay, there's never a reason not to practice, really, unless you have a fever. That's the only thing. Or you're very sick, I had an operation or something. That's it. Breathe. Everyone observe the breath under the organs of the abdomen, like we saw in pranayama, like they go underneath, not over or through, like behind. So the expansion can come in the chest. Then gently you come out of your pose. Your arms are there. You can remove them. You can stretch them overhead a moment if you'd like. And then at your own pace, you'll press your hands on the floor, lift your head first, come up. And bring your knees apart, forward Virasana. Rest there. Courtney, take that bolster that's right there, put it for your chest, or for your chest. If you need to turn your toes in for forward Virasana, you do that. And then set up dog pose, then set up for shoulder stand. God. If you're doing chair shoulder stand, go ahead. Those people who are not doing regular. If you're not doing chair shoulder stand and you already did your Viparita Dandasana, your Virasana, etc., and you already did probably Setu Bandha, because some people I know you cannot do Supta Virasana, then you did Setu Bandha, I'm assuming, cross bolster Setu Bandha, then you can do Viparita Karani now. Viparita Karani would be very good. I had to choose today what I wanted to do, rest your legs in Viparita Karani or in Supta Virasana, so I chose that. I opted for that. But some who couldn't do Supta Virasana, then you do, and you can't do Sarvangasana, then you do Viparita Karani, or you're tired. Okay? Because there's a little bit mixed things going on today in the class with people I know. Even though I can't see you, I know you so well. Maybe that's why we don't need to have Zoom as our center in my classes, because I know the people, most of them. I think there's only one person that doesn't come to my class regularly. Go ahead. Wow, this meeting, it stopped for some reason. What happened? Something stopped, something happened. Okay, go on the post office now. Okay, it says participants 1. It's only me, right? So I don't have anybody in there. Okay, I'm just turning this off. Sarvangasana. Now, observe the lift of the legs, etc. I promised in Sarvangasan I would read you Guruji's work, so I would like to read just part of what he says here in his translation and commentary on the Yoga Sutras in the classical book that he created. He wrote a couple of books on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And what's really amazing about Guruji's practice is for years he practiced and he didn't know, like, was this correct, that correct? But he had his own inner feeling. And he's even said in one talk that he once went to the library to look at some of the texts of yoga, but he felt that they were translated in such a way it would seem so philosophical and over his head. He abandoned it and just kept practicing. And then years later, I don't know when exactly, but years later, maybe after he wrote Light on Yoga or, I don't know, but he started again looking at those sutras and observing that everything he experienced in his practice was that. It was confirming that his practice was on the right path. Because we have to remember that he saw his guru on and off, but he wasn't living with him. He was living in another city. So anyhow, really he's such a pioneer and great yogi because he respected always tradition, but then innovated immensely. So when we hear about his translation of the Yoga Sutras, his practice was well beyond what he expresses here, even though this is already quite a lot. But he tells us in a way that we can understand it. He wrote and translated these books for us, so that we can approach the philosophy of the Yoga Sutras. So unlike him, when he came to the first translations and it seemed so philosophical and deep and understanding of Sanskrit, that in concept, so he said it was just so seemed so complicated, and you can find translations like that. So he brought it in a very experiential way, thanks to his experience, how we could understand it and how he wanted to guide us to understand and what he wanted us to understand. So it's tremendous. So if each week we read a sutra, then you can read the commentary in his book, as we have done in the past. I recommend it. So here is one commentary that he's giving part of it, that he talks about in this sutra, Atta Yoga Anushasanam. And it is the now and he's talking about another work where they had now, and he said in that one, the now is there, and it's with the understanding that the now encompass all the understanding of yoga up till now. It wasn't like, oh, well, now here's yoga, this new idea. No, it already existed. And now we're going to add upon what already exists. So he says, in the Yoga Sutras, it is the seer or the true self who is to be discovered and known. The seer or the true self. The seer or the true self is that part of us which is permanent, never changing, which moves, we believe in yoga, on to another life, which is always there, or the soul, and we say often the seat of the self, which is in the space inside the center of the chest, between the two lungs. In Sarvangasan, look inside the center of the chest as you reach up through the legs. So we're looking for that seat of the self in Sarvangasan itself. So he says again, in the Yoga Sutras, it is the seer or the true self who is to be discovered and known. Yoga is therefore considered to be a subjective art, science, and philosophy. It is a subjective art. And we can see in his teachings in the asana that he has us be the subject. how we feel the asana, not only just doing the asana. Yoga has various connotations as mentioned at the onset, but here it stands for samadhi, the indivisible state of existence. Samadhi, that's me now speaking, is also the name of the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras, and it's the chapter on how you can realize the self. And in Indian texts, often they give all the depth of understanding first, in the first part, and then they give you the how-to, which we'll see in the second chapter, and then the culmination in the end. So, again, he says, so in this sutra, Atta Yoga Anushasanam, it may be taken to mean the disciplines of integration are here expounded through experience and are given to humanity for the exploration and recognition of that hidden part of humans, which is beyond the awareness of the senses. Then everyone, go into halasan. I'm going to repeat this because it's such a compound sentence. So we can say that Atta Yoga Anushasanam means the discipline of integration is now expounded through the experience, and the discipline of this integration is given to humanity for the exploration and the recognition of that which is hidden within us. And that which is hidden within us is beyond the awareness of our senses. Then everyone slowly come out. Yeah, just move your bolsters forward over there, let's say. Rest there for a moment with your shoulders on the floor, your shoulder blades connected on the edge of the blankets. And then if you have a bolster for your legs, and you can do it, cross your legs. Just move your hands below your ears. And feel, just with your legs in simple cross leg, how the expansion and the breath now has flowed, it flows, and it has flowed inside the center of your chest. There is an expansion within. Do you feel that expansion within? When you straighten your legs, it's correct, straighten them for a sec, you'll feel there is an extension, and there's a little bit of expansion. But now change the crossing of your legs and feel, wow, how there is an expansion inside the center of the chest. And we observe that. First, we use our senses, our organs of perception, to observe the inside realm. In yoga, we definitely use, those are the tools. That's coming in the second chapter, how we use those tools. So here we're at the state where our senses are used to be aware of the sensations within. And our mind, which is another sense, like the sixth sense, the mind, the awareness, the consciousness. And we observe and feel that expansion from within. Because what is feeling that expansion within? It's not your ears, it's not your nose, it's not your eyes, it's not your skin. It's something within. It's the connection of your body and your mind, or the connection of your body and your breath. And that's yoga. When we connect those together, we get other experiences that we feel within, and this is our path. And then everyone, you can, if you haven't changed the crossing of your legs, do that. And then finally you'll slide down till just your hips are on the floor. And relax. let go completely, totally. Now, usually after Sarvangasana, just stay there in Shavasana. Usually after Sarvangasana, I give you either Setu Bandha or dog pose or forward swastikasana or Ekapada Pavanamuktasana or Supta Pavanamuktasana or forward bend. So many options are available. And today I didn't give. So I'm going to just have you stay there in Shavasana. But at the end of the class, which is very soon, if you need to do one of those options to release the back or neck, you'll do that. Okay? Just let go completely, totally. So the legs are slightly elevated on your support. Resting them. Feel the parallelism in the back of the legs, the top of the legs, the inner and outer, in the arms, and not just the lines like we saw in the poses, the sensation, but feel all the fibers of the arms, of the legs, running parallelly and releasing. Observe then other parallel lines going across expansion in the chest, the collarbones, the hips, almost like your plaid. Lines going one way, lines going the other. Relaxing the jaw, the mouth, the tongue. Just surrender, release, and let go. And just be there in this moment, in this now, this atha. So the imprints of the class can stay with you. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Salutation.